So this is the review for test number 10. So number 1 is to verify the identity. So I noticed that I have here in the numerator a sine squared theta. So this comes from the Pythagorean identity. So remember, the Pythagorean identity is sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is equal to 1. So sine squared theta is equal to 1 minus cosine squared theta. So I'm going to change this to 1 minus cosine squared theta over 1 minus cosine theta, right, equals 1 plus cosine theta. So I notice that this here in the numerator is the difference of two perfect squares, so I'm going to factor that. So I get 1 plus cosine theta times 1 minus cosine theta over 1 minus cosine theta. So I can reduce the 1 minus cosine theta with 1 minus cosine theta. They reduce to 1, 1. So then I'm left with 1 plus cosine theta equals 1 plus cosine theta. Alright, so let's take a look at 1b. Alright, so I have sine theta over cotangent theta plus cosine theta equals secant theta. So I'm going to change the cotangent theta to its what it's equivalent to. So that cotangent theta is equal to cosine theta over sine theta. So then I have sine theta from the numerator from this over, now I'm going to change that, cosine theta over sine theta. So this here I'm going to do same change flip. So I have sine theta times, now flip this, sine theta over cosine theta. So this here becomes sine squared theta over cosine theta plus cosine theta equals secant theta. So in order to add fractions, you have to have the same denominator. So I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator by cosine theta. So then I have sine squared theta over cosine theta plus cosine times cosine is cosine squared theta over cosine theta equals secant theta. So I'm going to add the numerators, keep the denominator. So I have sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta over cosine theta equals secant theta. So this is the Pythagorean identity, so that's going to change to 1 over cosine theta equals secant theta. 1 over cosine is the reciprocal of secant, so secant theta equals secant theta. Okay, so let's take a look at 2. Alright, so we have in triangle CAT. So we have CA is 12, AT is 14, and CT is 21. And we're looking for the measure of angle T. So what I have here is I have side, side, side. Side, 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 find an angle. Which one uses all three sides in an angle? That is law of cosines. So law of cosines is a squared. In this case, it would be t squared because I have this side and the angle opposite. So it's actually t squared. So it's t squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of angle t. So I have 12 squared equals 14 squared plus 21 squared minus 2 times 14 times 21, and we have cosine of angle t. So we have 12 squared is 144 equals, you cannot plug this all in at one time because of the cosine of t. So what you can plug in is 14 squared plus 21 squared, and that's 637 minus, and then you can plug this part in, which is 588 cosine of t. So you're going to subtract 637 from both sides, And when you subtract 637 from both sides, you get negative 493 equals negative 588 cosine of angle T. Divide both sides by negative 588. So negative divided by negative is a positive, so it's 493 over 588 equals cosine of angle T. Then we're looking for the angle, so we do the inverse. So second cosine, 493 divided by 588. If you have the decimal, then just do second cosine, second answer. And the measure of angle T comes out to be 33.02. So the measure of angle T is equal to 33 degrees. Okay, so let's take a look at B. So B is in triangle ABC. We have AB is 8, BC is 11, and angle B is 93. We're looking for side AC. So again, I'm going to use law of cosines. So this time, since I have angle B and I'm looking for side B, it'll be B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of angle B. So I have x squared equals 11 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 11 times 8 cosine of 93. So this time you can plug the whole thing in at one time because you have everything filled in. So we have x squared is equal to 194.2111283. So you do second square root second answer, get 13.93. To the nearest tenth would be 13.9. Okay, so let's take a look at 3A. Okay, 3A in triangle DEF. Angle E is 41 degrees. Angle F is 63 degrees. Side E is 15, and we're looking for side F. So we have two angles, two sides involved. Two angles, two sides involved. That would be law of sines. So it would be E over sine of E equals F over sine of F. So that would be 15 over sine of 41 equals x over sine 63. Cross multiply, we get x sine 41 equals 15 sine 63. Divide both sides by sine 41. Just plug this here into the calculator, and we get 20.371. And to the nearest tenth would be 20.4. Okay, so let's take a look at 3B. Okay, 3B, triangle ABC. Angle A is 102. Angle C is 25. A is 23. We're looking for side B. Okay, so in order to find side B here, you have to have the angle that's opposite. Doesn't matter which formula you use, law of sines or law of cosines. You have to have the angle opposite this side. So I know the angles have to add up to be 180 in a triangle. So I have 102 and 25 is 127. So subtract that from 180. So angle B comes out to be 53 degrees. So angle B is 53. So now I can use law of sines here. So law of sines would be B over sine B equals A over sine of A. So it would be x over sine 53 equals 23 over sine of 102. Cross multiply x sine 102 equals 23 sine of 53. Divide by sine 102. We get x equals 18.77. To the nearest tenth would be 18.8. Okay, so let's take a look at 4A. Okay, 4A. is in triangle BAT. Find the area to the nearest integer if A is 16, T is 13, and angle B is 78. So remember, area is K equals 1/2 AB sine of C. Just remember your angle that we plug in here. This angle must be in between the two sides. So you have to have side angle side. So I get K equals 1/2 13 times 16 sine of 78. So you could just plug that into your calculator, and we get 101, sorry, 0.72, and the nearest integer would be 102. Okay, so let's take a look at B. So we have in triangle ABC. Do you mind? So we have side A is 10, side B is 21, side C is 13. And again, we're looking for the area. So in order to find the area, remember you have to have an angle. So I'm going to have to find either angle A, B, or C. Since I have all three sides, I'd have to use law of cosines to find an angle. It doesn't matter which angle you find. I'm going to find angle B. So then that means when I do area, I would have to use these two sides. So to find angle B, I'm going to use law of cosines. B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of angle B. So I have 21 squared equals 10 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 10 times 13 cosine of B. So we have 21 squared is 441 equals, we could plug 10 squared plus 13 squared is 269 minus 10 times 2 times 13 is 260 cosine of B. So we minus 260 from both sides. We get 172 is equal to negative 260 cosine B. Divide both sides by negative 260, we get negative 43 over 65 cosine, that's a 5, cosine of angle B. So we do second cosine, 43 divided by negative 43 divided by 65, or second sine, second answer. So angle B comes out to be 48.58. Leave that decimal on your screen so that we can plug it into the area. So we have area is equal to 1/2 AB sine C. Since I'm going to use angle B, I have to use these two sides here. So it would be K equals 1/2 10 times 13 sine of your answer. This way we can get the as close as possible, pretty accurate. So we get 48.744, which is 49 would be the area. Okay, so let's take a look at 4C. Okay, so 4C says to find the area of a parallelogram. That would be parallelogram ABCD. If AB is 12, BC is 17, angle A is 36. So I'm going to use the diagonal to split the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. If this side is 17, this side is 17. So I'll find the area of one triangle and then just multiply it by 2. So K is equal to 1/2 AB sine C. So K is equal to 1/2 12 times 17 sine of 36. That you could just plug into your calculator all at one time. And we get 119, we actually get 59.9540953. That's for one triangle, so you have to multiply that by 2. So we get 119.9081915, and to the nearest integer would be the area is 120. So if you don't use the half, that's fine. Then you just don't multiply by 2. Okay? All right, so let's take... Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point, after number 4, is I'm going to start a different lesson, so a different link, so that just this link is 1 through 4. So you're going to go to another link and do 5, 6, and 7 on a different, 5, 6, 7, 8 actually on a different link, okay? So, close this out and go back to eBoard and press on the next link.